at that time.
Exciting. Hello.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, what's everybody else's books then?
I'm reading this book, which is about an actress and her assistant, and there's like rumors that they're dating because they went to an art show together. So I'm 30 pages in, so the rumors just got started. So we'll see what happens. I think it's a rom-com, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, I've heard like very mixed reviews about it. So I personally, I'm enjoying it so far.
Yeah, that sounds cute.
Nice.
Oh, hello, Rachel. Yeah, take your time. Don't worry. Emily, what about you?
Reading The Mortal Engines, which is a Philip Reeve book that I've been told to read many times by my colleagues at the library. So I'm finally doing it, and yeah, it's like the cities and towns of everywhere. They're like big machines, and they move, and then they can like eat other. I'm just still getting into it.
Transformers or something?
Pardon?
Like the Transformers or something?
Well, they move around and then they like hunt each other, like the smaller towns and stuff, I think.
Is it like a middle grade?
Huh?
Wait, what? Is it middle grade?
Yeah. But apparently
okay.
it's
Apparently it's what?
Quite dark or something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's scary.
I've seen the honest trailer for the movie of it, so I have like the internet commentary on the movie, so I kind of know a little bit of Mortal Engines plot, but I've never read it.
Yeah,
I haven't heard of it.
No, I hadn't until my friend kept going on about it at the library.
Yeah, fair. Ooh, yeah. I love reading sprints. They're so much fun. What book is it? It sounds like it's something intimidating. I'm so close to being finished. I know I read Bleak House every single time I'm on these sprints, but I'm so close to finishing it. I've got like 2.5 hours left of the audio, and I'm just so excited to finish it. Like I'm hoping I will tonight. And I've realized that like colouring in at the same time just helps so much to actually be able to concentrate on Bleak House. So like I've just been doing that over the last couple of nights, and it's just helping. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to colour in my little like Disney. I'm colouring in like this little like Peter Pan book. There's the Peter Pan colouring, and I'm just so excited. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to be doing.
Because Rebecca, you're reading all through Charles Dickens, right?
Yeah.
So have you read A Tale of Two Cities?
No, not yet.
That's my very favorite book of all time, and obviously my favorite Dickens book. So I'm excited for when you read it to hear what you think.
Yeah, I don't think I'm actually really disappointed because I don't think that we're actually doing that one on the course.
Okay.
But I'm gonna read it anyway because I know that it is small. So hopefully, like if I have time, I'll probably read it just for like to know some extra stuff. Probably if I've got time, because I'm reading so many of the others, so I might as well.
Yeah, I think I read somewhere that Dickens personally thought it was his best work, and like I've read a lot of Dickens, like Oliver Twist and obviously A Christmas Carol and like various others, and like it's very, very different from his other books because it's historical. He was writing it as historical fiction instead of like a contemporary, because his other books are considered like he was writing them as contemporary novels for his era.
Well, that's really interesting. So when's it set then? When's Tale of Two Cities set?
And it's a different revolution.
Okay, that
So
that sounds like good.
Yeah, he like spent years researching, and he was like really into it, and he wanted to have like this accurate portrayal of like what people experienced, like whether you were wealthy or poor. And he didn't like intentionally make a villain out of like one political person. He was like the rich were villains and the poor were villains, and he wanted to give them like equal fair say, which makes the novel like very equal and like shows like the injustice of both the wealthy people and the injustice of the revolution too, which is like part of why I love it so much.
Yeah, that sounds so good. And it's like, obviously, it's like a lot shorter.
Yeah,
than
it's
other
a lot.
ones.
Yeah, it's still wordy like all of his books, but it's like it's not like a whole tome, if you want to say that.
Yeah, yeah. Because I've read David Copperfield as well, which is also absolutely, I don't know if you've read that one, but that is massive. And that was one of my first classics. So like reading like a 1,000-page like classic was just like so intense. But I love David Copperfield as well. I genuinely think Dickens is probably one of my favorite authors. Like I was crying my eyes out the other day at Bleak House because like one of my favorite characters died, and like I was like properly in tears. Like it actually broke my heart. I was like, I cannot deal with this. Oh, it was so good. I just think he's amazing. But yeah. Hopefully these sprints will help you to read some more, because I know that I definitely need to finish Bleak House as soon as I can. Is it a long book or? Hi Rachel, thank you for watching. Yeah, so I'm just thinking we can like start like a sprint at like 1:15. Yeah, I'll take like a picture so that I can put it up that we're on.
I love that, Emily. Quick turn the fairy light.
Got to have like the decorations up and ready.
Oh, my dog finally decided to come up here. She was like arguing with me. She was like, you need to stop and give me attention. I was like, no, come sit up here.
So cute.
513 pages is quite long, to be fair.
It's really long.
Yeah.
You look at it, like you're on page 205 now, and then you've only got like 300-ish pages left, which is just the size of a regular book.
That is true.
Regular book to go.
Yeah. I'm hoping to read Every Heart a Doorway like next, probably, because it's so short. So I want to like, I really, really want to read it because I only got it recently and I wanted it for so long. But like, yeah, I just want to like read something fun but also quick, because then I need to get on to hard times. So I just like, that's gonna be like my little interval one, and I'm so excited for that. Have any of you read it?
Yeah.
Do you like it?
Yeah, I liked it. It's probably my favourite one out of the whole like the series that was in.
Have you read them all?
Yes, all the ones up to date, I think. Yeah.
Oh. Okay, well that's a big sense about them then, because I feel like we hardly ever read the same things.
Yeah, no, I'd recommend them, yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'm excited. I also got like a little TBR cart for Christmas and I've put it up, but it's like I haven't organized it yet, so I'm not going to show anybody. But I might make a video or something out of it whenever I do, because it's looking kind of ugly right now, because it's like not organized at all and there's like barely anything on it. I didn't even know Concrete Rose was out. Is it out?
I think so.
Oh, I
Came
didn't
out
know.
last Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
Missed that.
Yeah, I missed that. I'm so bad at keeping track of new releases. I literally never know what's coming out. And whenever people are always like, what are you looking forward to most? And I'm like, I can't even remember what's coming out. Like, I don't know. I'm so bad at that. Like, so bad.
I got really organised. Like, I made a most anticipated releases video. Like,
Yeah.
I filmed it for my birthday. I was so happy. And then as soon as I had filmed it, I was like scrolling through Twitter, saw a book I wanted that's coming out. And then I kept seeing more and more books that I was like, oh, I really want this. But I tried to film the video and I was so annoyed because I was just like, really? 2 hours earlier.
Yeah.
So when I uploaded the video, I was like in brackets until summer so that I can kind of get away with it and make one later on in the year.
Yeah, like a second. Yeah. I'll maybe do that for like the second half of the year, because like I've watched other people's most anticipated, so then that made me feel like, oh, I kind of have an idea, but like not really. So
Yeah.
because then I forget. I'm like, I most of them are like parts of series like this year that everybody's excited about that I haven't read. So I'm like, this doesn't really mean much to me.
Yeah.
So,
There's there's a sequel to These Violent Delights coming out that I'm excited for, but that was only announced like a couple of days ago. And then I'm excited for like the third book in the Jade Legacy series, but I haven't even read the first one yet.
yeah, I was excited for like the second King of Scars book, but I haven't read that yet. So
Yeah.
it's just like, what are you most anticipating? I'm like, oh, this book, but I haven't read the first one, but I am excited to have it. Like just because I like Lee Bardugo, but yeah.
I really liked Jade City. It took me a long time to like get into the world because it was like very heavy with a lot of like world
Really?
building. So I'm hoping the second book like picks up the pace for me personally and like is a quicker read and doesn't, because I think thinking about like what was happening in the city like slowed down reading the first book.
Yeah. No, I'm excited to read it, but I just don't know when I'm gonna read it.
Yeah, I really want to read it too, but I have no idea when. Like
Yeah, that's true. Like not a lot of them have been announced yet.
yeah, because like nobody knows like what's gonna happen. And everybody's just kinda like, it's maybe coming out, but we don't actually know. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just never on top of new releases. It's actually quite bad. Like I think the first book I ever pre-ordered was A Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Because like I'm just like, there's so many other books that have already come out that I really want to read, but like I just can't justify pre-ordering books, and it's always way more expensive as well. And I'm just like, I'm sorry, but like I can't like, afford like this book for like 20 quid, and it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah, I really struggle with some because like I've only kind of got into hardbacks recently. I prefer paperbacks, I think. But some books that come out, I'm like, do I actually want that as a hardback or not? Because I feel like some books I do, and some books I'm like, I'll wait for the paperback. But then I'm like getting annoyed because I'm seeing everyone else like be really excited about the book, and I'm like, I really want to read it now.
yeah, I'm the same. But it's just like I just never read new releases. It's like it's so bad. I'm just so behind on everything all the time. It's just I don't know. But yeah, hopefully this year I'll be a bit on more on top of new releases. But yeah, because I get massive FOMO as well. I'm just like everybody else is reading like these fun books and I'm not.
Literally, the worst one of that for me was Addie LaRue. So like about a week or two before it came out was when I first heard of it, and I was like super hooked by like the kind of concept. And then I was like seeing everyone post their reviews for their arcs, but I knew that it was coming in the Illumicrate box, and then it came out and I was seeing everyone like read it and I was so excited. But then when it came, like I wanted to film a book haul, but I was waiting to get more books. So like I just had it sitting on my shelf for ages and didn't read it until this month.
Yeah, I still need to read it as well. That's another one that like I also want to read soon, but because it's like kind of long, I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna have time yet to read it. But I also feel like I'm like feeling massively left out with that book.
I think the good thing with Addie is that the chapters are quite short, because like really short compared to other books, because it is back and forth constantly. So that's really handy.
Yeah, so it's like fast to get through then. Interesting. Yeah, I think Every Heart a Doorway and Addie LaRue are like my next two. But I also got A Song of Wraiths and Ruin. So that is like also. Have you read that?
Yeah, it's incredible. It's so good.
Yeah, I've heard like people are like, this is like one of the best like YA fantasies to come out in like a while. So
Oh
I'm
yeah.
excited.
And what I liked about it is the world building was so rich, and like I could only describe it as I was savoring it. Like I was like I wanted to stop and reread several chapters as I was reading it because it was so rich. It was like yeah, it was incredible. It was just so good.
I'm so excited to read it. I cannot wait. Like I'm so excited for that one. Yeah, literally, I need to read more short books. I always ended up reading like these really, really long books, and then I take like 3 months to read them. And then I'm just like, I'm like this. These past 3 months, I've read half of Midnight Sun, and that's it. And then like I've nothing to make videos about. Like that's like literally my life. But yeah, do you just want to do a sprint now, or yeah? We can do like we'll start with like a half an hour one.
Yeah.
With one. Yeah. Okay, I'll get up this timer. Okay, yeah, there we go. Hi.
Ooh.
How much did everybody read?
I only read about 16 pages because I went and had dinner with my family quickly. But yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I got to
What
page
about everybody else?
100.
Oh, that's a lot.
I'm a fast reader, so
Yeah.
it's moving pretty quickly. I'm just ready for these two to start fake dating instead of like tiptoeing around it.
Yeah. Oh, that actually sounds like such a good book. I actually really want to read it now. Carrie, what about you?
I put laundry away and then read 9% of my book.
Ooh, that's really good.
Nice.
Yeah.
I read like the amount of time that we read. I think I read like 25 minutes of my audiobook. So that's good. It's only like 2 hours left of it now. I cannot wait to finish it. I'm gonna be like, oh my god, it's gonna be such a relief whenever I finish that book. I can finally start reading other stuff.
Nice.
Oh my god, I always get distracted by YouTube Studio. I just stare at it and I'm like, am I gonna get like more views? It's like, no.
I never stare at mine.
I always do when I upload.
Whenever I upload, I literally have to like, I'll like a tweet and I'll post it on Instagram and then I'll just walk away from.
I'll never look at it in the first hour because I don't know. It's just not good for me. And then I try to check it like twice a day. So at lunch and when I get home from work, I'll check it.
Yeah. No, I always check whenever I upload. I'm like, and then I forget about it like not long after. After like a half an hour, I'm like, okay, it's just as usual. But I just like, I'm always like, when am I going to get a comment? Like, 40 pages is really good of that book, especially if you're like not really enjoying it, because then you're like getting like a good bit of it read, so it can be over sooner. But yeah, I finished coloring in my little Peter Pan picture. So I'm all done.
Nice.
My laptop's so weird. I can't really show it. But yeah. I think I'm gonna. Huh?
I said that's so cool.
I love them because like they have like, you know, like what it's supposed to look like, so that you can kind of like copy it. So it's kind of cute. It's just like loads of different Disney ones. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna go through them in order because I wanted to start with the Peter Pan one because that's obviously like my favorite. But yeah, I think I'm gonna go through them in order. I think this one's a really cute one. Like, yeah, I love it. Yeah, I'm such a child, but
I feel like I need to get myself really good at like colouring books. So I feel like all mine they're just not there. Not it. I just want a really good one.
yeah, I have one that's like an enchanted forest, but there's nothing enchanted like about it. It's just like different leaves and stuff. So it's really not that fun. But now I've got like that cute Disney one. It's just, yeah, it's good. I've got one
got
like
an under the sea one.
You got what?
I've got an under the sea one. But it's like it's quite small, but it's fun. But I always forget to do it. But like when you like you do it while you're reading an audio book, that's such a good idea. Like I might actually do that because I find when I'm doing like audiobooks, I can only really listen when I'm like walking somewhere because otherwise I'm home doing stuff. So I think that would actually be a really good idea to just like either do my bullet journaling or just colour in.
Yeah, because it's like mindless, so like you can still concentrate. Because I feel like whenever I'm like doing like cleaning or like anything, I feel like I can't concentrate on what's going on. Like I need something that's like not that. I don't know. It just really works with coloring. I can't really describe it, but it's so good.
Yeah, I enjoy it. I do it sometimes.
Yeah, it's so fun.
Oh.
Yeah, I watched your video and I really liked it. I thought it was really cute. Well, I got halfway through and then I didn't end up getting to finish it, but I will finish watching it. I always do that. I always like comment as I go along in people's videos, but then I'll get only halfway through and then I start like really panicking, like, oh my god, like what if I think I'm weird for like commenting something new? But I do want to watch it the whole way through because I just love like the thought of like, I don't know, like people's watch time going up and stuff. I'm like, oh, like I've just like helped it a little bit. I love that. So I just like, but then I don't always have time to watch like a 25-minute video in one go. So then I'll like comment about something near the start and then I'll be like, oh no, I'm like too anxious to like say something about near the end, but I'll really want to. And then like 3 hours later and they're like, why is she commenting now? So yeah.
I see the comments like a week after they've been commented, so I never think that deeply about it.
Yeah, I know that nobody probably would, but I overthink everything, so I'm like, oh, they're going to think I'm really weird and like I don't know, like nobody's going to think that, but like I'm always like I don't know, that's just what I'm like.
I got my first like creepy comment today. Someone like commented on my bullet journal video, like saying that it documented my beautiful hands, and I was just like,
that's very
I did an Instagram takeover for like an LGBTQ group in my area in December, and I was like talking about like at the end of the takeover, like was the end of the day, so I was like reading a book, and I was like, oh, these are the books that I'm trying to read before the end of the year, and there was like 7, and I had like a pile, and I was like, here they are, and like talking about each one, and someone replied to the story, you sound manic. Are you sure you're okay? And I was like, what? That freaked me out. I was like, that was probably the craziest comment like I've ever gotten like on YouTube. I was like,
I just feel like that's kind of rude, especially if like I don't know. It's just like kind of rude.
Yeah, I guess they were thinking that since I read like 101 books in 2020 that I was manic, and I was like, you apparently don't know many readers.
Yeah, and then like I don't know, maybe if you were as well, then it would be like it's just such a weird thing to say.
Yeah, I agree. I was like, especially since I didn't know them at all, like that's like a really weird thing to say to someone who you don't know.
Yeah. I feel like I don't really like people, and as well, like I feel like people throw like words like that around, and it's just kind of like you don't really actually know what you're talking about. It's just like, do you actually know what it looks like when somebody's manic? Probably not, but and it's just like I don't know. I just find it really weird and rude.
Fair enough. Yeah. Well, I've had like weird comments when people say things like, "Oh, it looks like you're flying down," and I'm like, "But my trousers weren't in short or anything." Like,
It looks like what?
And I'm like, "What?"
Wait, what? I missed that.
Oh, they've like people. I've had a comment before that was like, "Great video, but it looks like your flies down," and I was like, "But my trousers aren't in shot."
I think that's the way. That has to be the weirdest one. Like that's. It looks like your flies down.
Like I went through to double check that they weren't like didn't appear. Like I don't know why they would, because it was just like chest up. But like, I was just, like what? Okay, great, thanks. Next one.
That's actually hilarious. I actually love that so much. It's hilarious. I don't think I've got anything. I've got like love you so much and like but it's like clearly like some like weird like bot thing, and it's like you're beautiful, love you and stuff. Like that's the weirdest that I get. If it was somebody actually being like, I love your video so much, or I love you so much, and I can tell that that's like a normal book person, but whenever it's like Skeevy doesn't have like an icon and like do you know what I mean? You're like, I don't think you really do love me, but okay. I hardly ever get any of those. ones. Like some people get like, I don't know, like ones like, oh, you're so sexy, and like, you know, like ones like that. It's just be like, that would freak me out. But yeah, I don't really get anything like that weird, which is kind of lucky.
Yeah, I'm quite glad about that. I don't get them.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good. Yeah, that makes me feel better. So I'll watch the rest of your video this evening. I'll probably comment on more things because that's just what I do. But yeah, we could do another sprint at 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Can
could
I
probably do one more sprint, and then I'll probably need to go walk my dog before it starts.
Yeah, that's fine. Oh my god. So what time is it in America?
It's
Oh,
3
yeah.
o'clock, so it's like 3 in the afternoon.
I find that so weird.
The weirdest time zone I've ever been in was I went to Shanghai one summer, and China, because of like it's being communist, they're all on one time zone, even though the country is massive. So the sun. Okay, so it's really weird, but the sun rose at 2:45 a.m. in the city where I was living for the summer.
Hi.
That's really weird.
Make it rise at the same time, like to make it rise at like a good time on the like far other side of the country. It rose really, really early in the morning in Shanghai.
That would wake me up. Like that would literally wake me up in the middle of the night.
Yeah, I think I always woke up by 4:30 every morning the whole time I was there because it was like as sunny as like it was like really bright outside. So.
I suppose then you could like get into a good habit of getting up really early then.
Yeah, I think we went to bed. Like I think I remember like it was dark by 6 in the evening, so we were always like asleep by like 8. So
that's mad. So weird. How warm is it where you are as well?
Oh, I'm in South Carolina, so it's fairly warm. It's like kind of, it was nice yesterday. It was like sunny and pretty, and the sun was out today, but like literally, I sat down to be on here, and all these clouds rolled in, and it's supposed to start raining. So it got dark.
Well, it's like been snowing and stuff here, so
Yeah.
it's absolutely freezing. I've had the heat on all day because I'm just like, I'm not dealing with it. Whenever I woke up earlier, I was like, I think I'm going to freeze to death.
Like,
Hi.
I worried because like I moved to London, and London like never gets snow, and if it does, it's like really pitiful. But today it snowed, and it like properly snowed, and it's like the first time it's done that in 10 years in London. I was just so excited. It so beautiful.
See, we didn't get any like only like down near Brighton, but like everyone in like the towns around, all my friends that live there, they've got snow and everything. But like I was just waiting out, looking out my window, like please snow. And it just rained. It was just,
Yeah,
yeah. My hometown is near Brighton, and it snowed there as well.
oh, jealous. It's just like
Big pictures from people in England with the snow. It looked really gorgeous.
here it just kind of it snowed in the middle of the night, so there was like a wee bit still on people's like rooftops and things, but like I'm in Bristol right now, but yeah, it just kind of rained and it just went to nothing, so I didn't really get to enjoy any of it. Yeah, kind of sad.
I live like in the mountain foothills, so it's like super hilly, but we're like right at the like all of the town is like sits at the bottom of the mountains. So whenever it snows, it will snow super heavy, like a foot of snow up in the mountain. And we'll get like testing here. So then my friends and I will like get in the car and like drive up to the mountains and have fun up there. But then it's not here, so that's kind of nice. It's like you can go experience it, but you don't have to deal with it in the town.
Yeah, that is quite good. Yeah, yeah. Oh, I wish I was like lived somewhere more. Like I wish I kind of lived somewhere where like I feel like in America, if you want to go on like a holiday, you can just drive to somewhere warm or if you want it cold, you can just drive somewhere cold. But we have to like full on like go like like we have nowhere to go. Like like if it's freezing, that you're stuck. That's it. There's nowhere to go.
Yeah. So like I grew up in Texas, so like going to the grocery store was an hour drive, like to go like get our like monthly load of groceries. And then I moved to South Carolina, and here everything is close together. So like it's like 2 minutes down the road to go to the grocery store. But people here are like, I'm like, do you want to come see me? And they're like, oh, you live 2 hours away. That's too far. But in Texas, like a 2 hour drive, that's like what you do to go to work. So it's such a like different parts of America view road trips and like driving totally different. But I'm always like I'm like totally fine with like a 3 hour drive. Like to me, it's like normal. But like a lot of my friends are like, if it's more than 30 minutes, they don't want to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it kind of depends on where you live and just kind of what you're like. But yeah, we should do some more sprints. So yeah, I'll set a timer for, will we do another half an hour, or do you need like less time to, or do you need to go sooner, like to walk your dog?
Well, half hour will be fine. That's good.
Okay, we'll do that. Okay. So, I always mess this up every time I go to do it. I'm like, I forget to share the screen. I'm just like, the timer starts and all, and I'm like, oh yeah, I haven't like shared it.
All right.
Okay, I did it.
Managed it.
Hello.
Hello.
So, how did everybody do?
About 34 pages.
That's good.
Not too bad.
I just read like 25 minutes or something of my audio
Nice.
because I got some tea and stuff. Well, my boyfriend got me and I didn't get it myself, but yeah.
I read 12% of my ebook. I was going to say audiobook, but I was like, that's not what I was doing.
That's a lot. So that's like over 20% then you've read already. That's so good. Lizzie,
Lizzie,
yeah, I'm confused what's going on.
Lizzie, you're still muted.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
I didn't realize that. No one.
I've done that before.
I asked Rebecca what speed you were listening to your audiobook on.
Wait, what's speed? Oh, 1.8, I think. No, 1.6.
It's pretty fast.
Yeah. It's just like hard to like. The man sounds weird whenever his voice goes fast, and like you can't really understand what words he's saying. And especially because it's like hard words as well. I have to like, I can't listen on 2 times because it would just be like way too fast. I'd be like, what is this man saying? Because like, you know, like weird voices for people and it's just like, and it literally sounds like that. And it's just like, no. 32 pages. That is really good. Ooh, that considering you missed most of it, that is pretty good. Yeah. I'm so jealous of all these people getting snow. That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So many people getting snow. That's so weird.
Yeah.
That is like the weirdest thing. I've never heard of that.
That's so odd. I've never heard of that either. It's kind of cool.
I would not like that.
Yeah, no, that's kind of freaky. The best feeling ever is like when is it that like, you know, the clocks go, is it back or forward when you get more sleep?
So you get more sleep in the fall and less sleep in the spring, but you get longer daylight in the spring.
I like whenever it just changes and you get more sleep. I love that.
For that extra hour.
I literally love that. Every year I'm like, oh yeah, this is when it gets good. And then like I'm just like that extra hour. I'm like, oh yeah.
And then British summertime comes around and you're like,
Yeah, you're like, I get less sleep, and it feels like a disaster. Like whenever you were at school, and it was like, this means you get less sleep tonight, and it was like, oh my god, like this is the end of the world. I'm gonna be absolutely exhausted. And I was just like, it's an hour.
I'm
That's
so ready though for daylight savings because I'm ready for sunshine when I get off work. Because I get off work at like 6:30 in the evening, and it is dark, and I still have to walk my dog and stuff. And
yeah.
Because in the spring, like I can take my dog to the pond and like go on dog walks with like once it's daylight outside, we can go places and go dog. Like I'm not, but it's dark. It's like it's miserable. I don't like it.
Yeah. Are your dogs there? Like, are they near you?
Oh, my lab is. Yeah, she's been like walking around, and she comes over and like looks at me like, "Why are we still inside when it's daylight?" Like she when I don't work like the weekend, she wants to spend the whole day outside. I'm like, no, we have to stay inside sometimes.
Are they around you right now?
What was that?
Like, are they around you like right now?
I just have one dog.
Okay, sorry. Okay, well,
But-
yeah.
Yeah, I mentioned that like during daylight savings, my best friend has a dog, so we go when it's still daylight outside. We go dog walking together.
Oh,
That's-
okay. Yeah, I get you. No, because I wanted to see your dog.
She's like now laying down at my feet, so
Oh,
she's a sweetheart. She's really good.
that's so cute.
But I live in a 600 square foot apartment, so it's kind of small for her. She gets like restless.
Oh, that's so cute. That's so funny. Yeah, literally, like I used to like genuinely feel like it was the end of the world whenever it was like you get less sleep. Like I genuinely felt like this means like my whole night, my whole day, my whole night, it's just ruined. And I kind of feel that way. I don't know why. it's so weird. But yeah, I started coloring. I decided not to do the Mickey and Minnie one, but I started doing that Pinocchio one. I feel like it's so cute.
Oh,
That's
I just
cute.
love it. I'm just having so much fun. But yeah, I also realized that like I really, 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 really want to read Empire of Storms. So now I'm like, should I read The Hard Way next or not?
I haven't had
That's the
Empire of
last
Storms.
book in the Sarah J. Maas series, right?
No, it's the it's the sixth one? No, the fifth one. Wait, what? I don't know which one it is. It's
Okay.
the one before Tower of Dawn.
Okay.
I haven't got to read those in ages, and they just make me so happy. Like there is nothing that makes me more happy than Throne of Glass. Well, and the Hunger Games. But yeah, Throne of Glass. I just think it's so good. Like it's just amazing. It's because I just wasn't expecting it to be good. I was expecting it to be just cringe. But it was so good.
I
love
read the 3 Throne of Glass books, and I read Tower of Dawn, and I really like Tower of Dawn. But then I never like finished the series. I just got done. I was like done at some point.
Yeah.
I think it's because I read them like, well, Tower of Dawn was the last one I read, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm good. I know what's gonna I know. I guess I just felt like I was. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm so excited I'm so excited to continue with them.
Have you read the Crescent City book?
No. But I really want to. Like I don't even have it, which makes me really sad. I feel like I should have it. It's one of those books where because I don't feel as bad. I don't feel as if I'm missing out as much if I actually have the book. That makes me feel like a bit more okay with it because I'm like, at least I have this nice edition. So I don't feel as bad, that I don't feel as left out. At least I have it, and therefore I will read it at some point probably. But yeah, I don't even have it, which makes me sad. I really want to read Crescent City.
Same. I've never read Sarah J. Maas before, but I really want to read Crescent City because I've heard so many people like rave about it. And there's one edition that Jodie has, and she filmed it the other day, and I was like, that is so beautiful. But
Yeah.
it's got stenciled edges like on the side.
Yeah.
It's got essentially like the image on the cover on it. It looks so
I
cool.
think I've seen ones like that before. Yeah, some of the editions are just actually beautiful.
I can find a photo.
But you should read The Throne of Glass. Like I would. Okay, I know everybody's like, oh, they're trash, but like they're so good. Like they're just so good. Like it's just so much. They're just so much fun to read. I don't see why people don't think they're good. Like it has such good hate to love. Like I'm sorry, but like Sarah J. Maas does like hate to love so good. Like it's just so like that's just some good stuff.
I hear a lot of people say that they liked them until Heir of Fire, and actually Heir of Fire I thought was like the most entertaining book because it was a like hate to love story going on. That is,
Yeah. That is so nice.
wow.
Like I just want that edition.
Yeah, that is really
Books.
That is so nice. But Lizzie, what were you saying?
I thought Air of Fire was very entertaining, and I don't understand why people don't like they were like, oh, I liked it till Air of Fire, and then I was like not here for it, and I was like, that was the actually most entertaining book to me in the series that I like remember reading.
Yeah, I think I really love Crown of Midnight. I don't know why. That was one of the funnest ones for me. But I don't know. I just feel like they're all good. Like I haven't really got like bored. But I think there was. Wait, what's the one before? Air of Fire and then Queen of Shadows. I thought that was I thought that one was more boring.
Yeah, I thought Air of Fire was highly entertaining. Then I read Queen of Shadows, and I was just like, okay, like it just felt like it was drawn out. I was just like,
yeah, Air of Fire is the one where she meets Rowan, isn't it?
yes, yeah.
That is such a good one. That's an amazing one. I love that one. That's such a good book.
But like, this make me sound bad. But like once Rowan and Selena was a couple, I was bored with them. Like once they were no longer fighting all the time, I was just kind of like, they're boring.
Yeah, I kind of felt like that a wee bit, but I don't know. We don't really get to see much until I don't know what happens after. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen.
I don't really know anything about Throne of Glass. I've just looked it up on Goodreads because I've seen people like have it on their shelves, and I know like about ACOTAR and obviously Crescent City because it's recent. I know nothing about Throne of Glass, but I can't imagine reading it because there's so many of them.
Yeah.
That's what I felt, and I was like, there's no way I'm going to like a book about an assassin. That's going to be cringy. It's going to be like, I don't know, it's just like, it just sounds weird, but it's actually so good. And it's like, it's not where you feel like, oh my God, there's so many of these. It's kind of like, I don't want to finish these. Like, I wish there was more. That's the way I feel anyway. And I'm such a slow reader, and I'm always behind on stuff. But like, they made me feel like I wish there was more of these because they're so good. So I've kind of purposely dragged it out because I don't want it to end. Hi everybody who just joined. Yeah. I mean, none of us have really like read it, but yeah. Yeah, I'm determined. I'm determined to like finish them because I'm like, I want to finish them before I start ACOTAR, but I also want to start ACOTAR. So in a way, like I want to finish them because I want to see what happens, but then I don't want to, but I want to, and it's just weird. But yeah, I'm quite excited to start ACOTAR. Yeah, no, that actually makes me so scared to read like Empire of Storms now. I'm like scared to have my heart broken by something. No, it's really not. I think it's actually like, I think it's ACOTAR that's supposed to be worse. I was expecting like it to be, I think people kind of exaggerate like the smut in Throne of Glass. I really don't think it's bad at all. Like I barely even think it's really there. Maybe in the later books, but not really anything more than anything like in any other YA books. I think it's just more well done, and that's why it's maybe a bit more obvious because it's just better. Like it's written better, in my opinion. But like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's like anything different than in anything else. But I think it's ACOTAR that's supposed to be a bit more Throne of Glass because I think it's as she writes, as like she starts writing more. I think she starts writing kind of more scenes like that. But I don't know because I haven't read them.
Yeah, I definitely think ACOTAR is much smuttier than Throne of Glass.
Yeah, I think
the first book is like very similar. Like the Court of Thorns and Roses is very similar to Throne of Glass in like the levels, but like A Court of Mist and Fury and Wings and Ruin, it's definitely new adult compared to young adult.
Yeah. I think like as she was like writing more, I think she must have kind of wanted to move away from YA or something, especially because Crescent City is obviously adult. So
but then Crescent City also has like no sex scenes in it. Like maybe one, if I remember right.
Yeah.
But it had this is like it was adult characters, but there was like very little smut, like at all. Like there was none. There was,
Yeah.
sexual tension, which I thought was like better than A Court of Mist and Fury, because I don't know, like the tension between the two characters in Crescent City was like something that made you ache, like physically ache. I really liked the tension between the two of them. It was like really strong.
Oh my god, that makes me want to read it even more.
Yeah, that's literally what I was just thinking.
It's convincing me to buy it and just read it. Like, oh my god. And I'm so excited to see what happens at the end, because everybody's like, oh, the end is what makes it so good. Like, the end is amazing and all. And I'm just like, I want to see what happens. Like, I want to see what is so good about this. Like, oh, this is making me excited. Sarah J. Maas makes me so excited. Oh, I just need to read all the books. Do we know when the second Crescent City book is coming out? Has that been, or not?
I don't think we know yet. I'm pretty sure she hasn't said anything.
I
Yeah.
think it's partly because the new ACOTAR book is coming out soon. That
Yeah.
probably won't announce that until like that's passed and has gained some hype, because otherwise, like, announcing the second Crescent City would kind of take hype
Yeah.
from that.
Yeah, that makes sense. So when's that? A Court of Silver Flames. When's that? Is that like May or something, or March or something?
Might actually be February.
Oh really? I was
Well,
like, oh, great
I haven't
all
read the
the
series.
time for it to come out. I'll be all on top of them and all. It's just like it's not gonna happen. I know myself. It's just anything I that's why I'm just like, I'm never setting a TBR again. Like, I never stick to it. I can't read more than 3 books in a month. It's just time to accept that it's just like I just can't read. I just can't read as much as other people. I'm just like, how is this possible? I don't know.
Yeah, it's the 16th of February.
So, okay, that's not happening then. I'm not going to catch up by then. I'm just going to wait until the next book. Oh my god. One thing I actually am on top of though is rereading the Shadow and Bone books for the show.
I'm going to be
I'm
reading
not-
Shadow and Bone soon.
I'm so ready for it.
Yeah. I'm hoping that it's not going to be like, you know, like the Shadowhunters show. I'm hoping it's not going to be like that. I'm hoping that it's going to be actually good.
I feel like it's gonna go more like The Witcher, which I thought they did a really good job with The Witcher. Like, I've never read The Witcher books, but like the acting was like, it was really good.
Love The Witcher.
I haven't seen it.
Mine neither.
Oh, but it's like a very similar fantasy world to Shadow and Bone.
Okay. Maybe I'll
Like
watch
with
that.
the like, I would just say like the genre is so similar that I feel like they're good at that genre.
Yeah. Ooh. Hopefully it'll be good, because I'll be really sad if it's terrible, because it'll probably slightly put me off it, because I'll just be like, that was sad. Like, they completely ruined. I don't know if have you ever read Beautiful Creatures?
No.
That used to be like, I don't know, have you ever heard of it? Like, it used to be like one of those like really popular like YA books like back in the day, and like I absolutely loved those, but then it became like trash and everybody's like, oh, this is so terrible. I love those books, they're so good. I'm sorry, but those are so good. They're like not good, but they are good. They're not like literary quality or anything, but I like them. But like, yeah, that got a movie and it just completely it flopped. And it's just like, oh, it made me so sad, because I really wanted them to do those movies, but it just completely flopped. And I feel like that movie put everybody off the series, and that just ruined it. So I'm hoping that doesn't like kind of ruin it for me like that. So I'm hoping the show's actually good.
Yeah,
felt
I'm
like
going to read.
The teaser was really good. So I'm just, the teaser made me have a lot of hope in it.
All I've seen is like one that just goes like Shadow and Bone on the screen. That's all I've seen.
The music score and like the atmosphere of the teaser, which was just like the name of the show, but it was just so cool.
I was just like, everybody's like, wow, this is amazing. And I was expecting like a bit of a clip. Then I just click on, it's like, da-na-na, Shadow and Bone. And I was just like, wait, what? I was like, this is not that, like, this is not that mind blowing. But I was like, fair enough. I mean, this has made me excited because it says like March. And then I was just like, oh, like, this is fun. But yeah, I was expecting to have more than that whenever everybody was like, this is amazing. And it was just like, Shadow and Bone. I was like, okay.
Well, I turned on notifications for when the Netflix Shadow and Bone account tweets. So as soon as they drop the trailer, I'm like watching it right away. Which I mean, we're like 6 weeks away from March, so they need to like drop the trailer soon, like marketing wise.
Yeah. Ooh, that is exciting. That is exciting.
So personally, like I said this last spring in a YouTube video, that I thought they would release Shadow and Bone like they did The Witcher in the fall or winter because it's like a cold show. And instead they're releasing it in March. So I just feel like it's coming out in the wrong season of the year, but that's my personal belief.
Yeah, I can't wait for it. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I anything about it.
The Welsh reader is right. That's completely.
I've heard like a lot of people say that because apparently ACOTAR was originally meant to be YA or something, or it was marketed when it actually wasn't. And then in the second book, everyone was like, whoa, what's going on? They had no idea what it was meant to be, which is partly why I think they did the cover change. I could be wrong. I heard someone talk about
it. I heard that as well.
Which is why the cover changed mid-series, because they wanted to market it as more adult, and obviously the illustrations on the front kind of made people think it was YA.
Yeah.
It was very funny because I recommended the first book, ACOTAR, to a friend from church back when I went to church, because it was like, it was PG, and like, it was like, I didn't think like my church friends, it would bother them. But I hadn't read Court of Mist and Fury yet. But then I read it over the holiday, and I came back, and she was like, oh, I read the whole series. And then she met me, like, in the eyes, and she's like, you didn't warn me. Started laughing. It's embarrassing to go to church and have an adult lady say this to me. Yeah. Embarrassing.
Oh, that's so funny. Is A Court of Mist and Fury the second one?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. And then what's the third one?
Court of Wings and Ruin. Okay. So, like I told you, my dog is now walking. I don't know if you can see her. Hey, Santa, want to say hi? Outside pose. But yeah, she's walking around whining at me until I take her outside.
Yeah, I don't know. So many books I need to read.
Literally, I really want to read Sarah J. Maas this year. I want to start the ACOTAR series, and I also want to. So before the show comes out, I want to read Shadow and Bone and Six of Crows, because I've never read that either.
I want to reread Six of Crows.
So I think I'm going to do like a little reading vlog of like stepping into the Grishaverse before it comes out.
Oh, that would be so good. I'd be so excited to watch that. I'd read Six of Crows at the same time as you. We could do like a body read of Six of Crows or something, because I need to read it.
I'm fine with that.
And I can't even remember what happens that one.
Yeah, it's been a long time since I've read it, so.
Yeah, I can't remember that much. And Emily, you should read it as well. With us, that you're forced to read it.
I need to get it soon.
I bet you would like it. Because the character is so good.
But I probably would like it. I probably love it, and I've got it, but I just haven't picked it up yet.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, you need to. It's so good.
Soon.
This is literally my problem. So like I'll have so many books for uni, not like be like, oh, I have all of these to read, like, so I can't read anything for fun. But I'll continue to not read anything at all because of the pressure to read the uni ones. So I just won't read. And it's just like, it's so annoying. Even though like I enjoy reading classics, it's just because like I know I have to. So it just puts so much stress on me. So I'm like, I don't want to read this. So it's taken me, I started I started Bleak House in it was whenever I got coronavirus. So I think it was like that was like my coronavirus time when I was just like reading Bleak House. But I think it was like October, like end of October, and I'm still reading it.
I can't read like multiple books at the same time. I'm so bad with it. I have to read like one at a time, except for uni books. But I think that's because mine aren't fiction. That it's really like I just have to. But I just cannot read like multiple books at the same time because I know if there's one that's less exciting, I just won't pick it up again because I'll just be like, no, I want to read my more exciting ones.
Yeah, see, that kind of happened to me, but like it kind of didn't because I wasn't really reading anything else. So like it's just me taking a million years as usual, like to read everything. I kind of got out of reading. I go into like more of a reading phase. I'll love books the whole time, but I just won't read as much sometimes, and it's just what happens. So I'll be really excited about books and be like loving books, but I just won't read anything. I don't know. That's just kind of what I'm like. I like to talk about books and think about them rather than read them. But yeah. I'm thinking about doing another sprint. So Lizzie, what do you want to do?
I probably have to hop off and go take my dog out.
Okay. Okay, well, thank you so much for like coming on and everything. It was really fun.
Yeah, it was very fun. I should do sprints more often. That was really fun.
Yeah, I mean, like, I like come on another time. Yeah, it'd be loads of fun. Yeah, see you later.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, so I'll get this timer up. I actually feel like such a granny all the time.
Aww.
My Tamagotchi's screaming again. Hello.
Hello.
Hiya.
How did everybody do?
I read 13.
Nice. I did what, for about 13 pages exactly, I think.
That's good. I have an hour and 20 minutes left of my audiobook. So I've done a decent bit.
Nearly there.
Yeah, nearly there. I'm so
You can hear my dishwasher. I just realised it's on.
you realize what?
I just realised that the dishwasher's on, so there's like that humming noise in the background. So I'm sorry if you can hear it.
I no, I don't think I can even hear anything. I've just like sat back because like my back feels broken, like leaning over, colouring in on my bed.
Yeah.
I have such a prison bed in my uni room, like such a prison bed, but
Well,
It's really weird. In the book I'm reading, it just mentioned my hometown, and I was like, "Wait, what?" It was really weird.
I love
yeah,
it. Like, I don't know if you've read it, what's his name? Richard Osman's The Thursday Murder Club book.
Oh yeah.
Because he went to school at a school that's like in Hayward Heath, that's just like next town over. And so he like just mentions like the towns in this area every time in the book, and I'm like, oh, I know where they are.
oh, that's so
Literally.
cool. There's
I'm
this,
near Hayward Heath, so like I know where Hayward Heath is.
Yeah. I'm like near it, so yeah. Small world.
Yeah, literally.
there's literally like obviously like I don't know, obviously because I'm from Belfast, like there's like zero books written like set there, so it's like I never get to see anywhere that I live. It's sad, but sometimes you'll get books like in Dublin and stuff, and I know a bit about Dublin, so that's nice sometimes. But that's about it.
That's
Yeah,
sad.
I've never like read a book that's properly set near my hometown because I haven't read Richard Osman's yet, and then I haven't read a book that was set in my uni town either, but I was there for 4 years. And then I've read like books set in London, but like London's so huge that until they start mentioning like boroughs, you're not really like
Yeah.
in London.
Yeah, what I like most whenever I read books like set in London is whenever they're like either classics or like historical fiction, because then like you kind of get to know, especially with like where the theaters were and stuff, like Drury Lane and stuff is so interesting, like where all like what the layout was like in like kind of the Elizabethan era and like post Reformation. I love that kind of era, and it's so cool like knowing what used to be there and like you know what I mean, like all of that kind of stuff. I like that. I like that. Whenever like it's like currently set in London, it's not that exciting. But like going to London and like knowing things like, oh, Charles Dickens wrote about this street and this happened there, I think that's more exciting because it's like
Definitely.
I don't know, especially where it's real.
Definitely. My boyfriend's brother, he works like in kind of near Whitechapel, which is where like Jack the Ripper was like back in the day. And it's really funny because like when we've like he took us kind of like outside his work before and we were walking like in the area. He was like, oh yeah, like Jack the Ripper just like killed someone over there and like all of these things, proper like history in that area. And it's really interesting because you see like all these historical tours.
Yeah, like London has such like interest in history, especially like literary history. So it's like it's just so cool to like know kind of like what like I don't know, like oh they lived there or they I don't know. I just think that's so fun.
Yeah.
So cool. Yeah, I think like that's cool. But yeah. there's this book that literally nobody knows about, and it's called Forever Amber, and it's historical fiction, and it's basically about like King Charles II, and you know the way he had like a lot of mistresses and everything. It's about this woman, so it's some of the characters like Nell Gwyn and stuff really were his mistresses, and Charles II himself was in it. But it's basically about this woman who ends up like through like various like misfortunate events basically in her life. She ends up like becoming a prostitute and an actress in the theater in London in post-Reformation England, and then becoming like the mistress of Charles II. And it's just like, and it goes through like loads of like different periods of time in like London, like the fire and everything, like the plague. But it's like it talks about the theater, like all of like the streets where like all the theaters were on, and like it's just so good. It's so good because like so much of it was like real, and like you get to see like what happened on what those streets really like looked like and stuff. And it was just, that's such a good book. It's really long. It's like 1,000 pages, but it's such a good book. It's such a good book, though. It's amazing. Forever Amber. I don't remember. Yeah, it's literally so good. It's one of those books where it genuinely doesn't feel like you're reading a book that's 1,000 pages long. Like it genuinely just feels like so entertaining because it's so like character driven, and you're just kind of like, you love her and you hate her at the same time. Like Amber, you're kind of like, I could strangle you, but I also like really love you. And it's just like, it's so good. Like it's one of the best books I've ever read. It's so good. And it's not difficult to read. It's just, it feels like you're reading a classic, but it's written in like kind of normal language. It's so good.
Interesting.
Yeah, you should read it. It's so good, especially because like nobody knows about it, but it's such an amazing book, and it was like banned for like a long time because like the Catholic Church banned it and like loads of stuff because of like it's basically about prostitutes. So it was banned so much that like a lot of people like stopped reading it, and yeah, it's just such a good book. It's so good. But yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking about I don't know, I might go to sleep soon because I'm absolutely exhausted for some reason. Like whenever I like sat back now, like after like leaning over and like colouring in, I'm just kinda like, I want to go to sleep now.
I know exactly what you mean. I'm always that way for uni because like around like doing uni online, it's really difficult because my boyfriend is working from home and our desks are in the same room. So he's always on work calls and like I can't tell when I'm going to need to speak. So I have to do it from my bedroom and I sit on my bed and I like lean forward.
Yeah.
And, like when we get into like breaks and stuff, I'll just lean back and I'll be like, oh my God.
Yeah, it's just like once you lean back, it's it. That's it.
Literally.
Like genuinely. But yeah, thank you again for joining me tonight. It was so much fun, and I think I might do like a midweek one because I hit 1K, so I might like see kind of see when like maybe like other people aren't doing one and try to like find out when people's are and then try to do one when like other people aren't helping them because that makes more sense. So yeah, if I'll see, but yeah, hopefully I'll have another one for 1K. And that'll be fun.
Well done. I'm so happy for you. I forgot to check before we started if you had hit 1K, but well done.
Yeah, it's like I have like 1,010 now, like it's 1.01, so that's made me like really happy because I was like really afraid I was going to lose it. I was afraid like a couple of people would unsubscribe, so now that I'm like 10 above, even if like 5-ish people unsubscribe when I upload hopefully tomorrow, then hopefully I'll get to keep it. I'm so happy. It just looks like so cool. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm famous. Yeah, so I'm happy. That's me happy for on BookTube forever. Like that's all I wanted was 1K. That's all I wanted. Now I can just stop making videos.
Done.
Retire.
Yeah, no, I'm retired. Like, I'm famous now. I can retire. So, yeah.
Oh.
But yeah, I'm gonna end this live because I'm really tired.
Yeah.
Thank you to everybody who's watching or has watched. I mean, I don't think there's much people anymore, but yeah, thank you if you're still watching. And yeah, hopefully I'll have another one soon. So, good night. Bye. I never know how to.